Hello, children. Good morning to you all. How are you? I hope you are fine and doing well at home. This is Vartika, your EVS teacher, welcomes you all in online classes of Mount Litra Z School, Alva. I am sure you all are safe at home and doing your work sincerely. I hope you all must have completed all your work till chapter number 3. And now it's time to start a new chapter. So today we are going to discuss chapter number 4, Dignity of Labor. Today the date is 7th of May 2020 and day is Thursday. Let's start with the chapter. Dignity of labor. The word dignity means worth, and what is labor? So children, all form of work done by people is called labor. So here dignity of labor means all the people should be treated equally and all the jobs which they do should be respected. We engage in jobs to earn a living. Means we do different kind of jobs to earn money. Some of us work in offices while some work in a factory. Some run businesses while some are service holders. So we all must be proud of what we do. In this chapter we will learn about dignity of labor. So before we move further, do this quick start which is given on page number 28 in your EVS LR. This question is here to check your previous knowledge about the topic. So here you have to make a list of any 5 occupations that you know of. The word occupation means a job or a profession. Although occupation and profession are synonyms, but there is a slight difference between these two terms. So before we move on to our main topic, let us see what is the difference between profession and occupation. So students, first understand what is a profession. A profession requires a degree or completed studies at a university or other institution of higher education. It involves extensive training and special knowledge. Examples of professions include accountant, architect, doctor, engineer, lawyer, teacher. So, you need a degree to work in these areas. Whereas an occupation is the job you are paid to do. It is the way you earn a living. Think of it as the activity that occupies your time and from which you receive money for doing it. So to compare the difference, I will give you an example. If I say I studied teaching at university and I am a teacher right now, that means I can say my profession and my occupation are the same. Whereas if I say I studied teaching at university but I am an actor right now, so that means my profession is teacher, though my occupation or my job right now is actor. So this is the main difference between profession and occupation. Now moving to our topic, occupations. So as I said, people have different occupation, and here occupation means the job one does to earn a living. So we have 2 categories of occupations here. Let's see them first. There are certain occupations that require a person to take a special degree like teacher, lawyers, doctors, engineers, etc. And certain other occupations that require a person to learn a skill. For example, plumbers, cobblers, bakers, fashion designers, jewelry designers, etc. So now we can say that profession and occupations can be of many types. There are countless types of jobs that one can do to earn a living. But the nature of work varies. Let's see how. So, There are some jobs that require a formal education. For example, doctors, lawyers, teachers, managers, etc. On the other hand, there are some jobs that require a person to learn a skill. For example, plumbers, bakers, shoemakers, fashion designers, cobblers, etc. Next, it may also involve a lot more of physical effort. For example, porters, coolie in railway stations, rickshaw pullers, gym instructors, construction laborers and factory workers, etc. They are some people who need to use their muscle power to do work. Now, let's head on to the next topic, that is jobs. All the jobs that people do today fall into some category. So, one way to classify a job is the color of workers' collars or clothes. So, based on that, there are two types of jobs, blue collar and white collar. So, let's see what is the difference between both these terms. To understand this, in the next slide, I'm gonna show you two pictures. Just look at them. So, can you able to identify them? Yes, let me help you. So in the first picture you can see here is a computer operator who works in an office, and the second one is a plumber who works from one place to another depending upon the work. So students, in the early and mid 20th century, it was a trend for office going people to wear crisp white collared shirts. Similarly, it was convenient for people who did manual work to wear denim, blue denim or cambric shirts, as these were sturdy and they did not get dirty easily. Thus, the terms white collar job and blue collar job came into being, and it is commonly used even today. So, we can say that people who go to offices are referred to as white-collared workers. For example, managers, lawyers, administrators, doctors, etc. Whereas people who do manual work or hard labor are referred to as blue-collared workers. For example, plumbers, construction workers, shoemakers, peons, etc. Now, moving on to the last topic and the one on which our chapter is based upon, that is dignity of labor. So in the beginning only I told you that all types of jobs are respected equally and no occupation is considered superior. That means dignity of labor indicates that you respect all types of jobs equally, whether it is white collar or blue collar, and don't feel that one job is greater than another, as all jobs are important and valuable. So we should not look down upon any job. But there are a handful of people who ill-treat and behave wrongly with people engaged in certain jobs. For example, cobblers, masons, maids, helpers, plumbers, etc. purely because they consider these jobs as underprivileged or poor. Just imagine what would happen if the sweepers would stop cleaning the streets and public places, and what would happen if the cobbler stopped mending your footwear. So, students, we should have regard and respect for all the jobs, and we should not look down upon any job as a dirty job, because every job has its own value and dignity, and so the person who does the job has his own dignity too. And this is what is meant by dignity of labor. And so, to celebrate the hard work and achievements of the labor group or working class, on 1st of May, International Labour's Day or International Workers' Day is celebrated all over the world. As without labor, nothing big is possible, as these workers are the strength of the nation. Even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said at 69th Independence Address to the nation from Red Fort that dignity of labor has to be our national duty, it has to be a part of our nature. So, we need to respect dignity of labor. So, students, what we have learned from this? First, no work is superior or inferior. That means no job is big or small. And next, we should respect all kinds of work equally. So, here your chapter is finished. I hope the topics are clear to you. Now it's time to revise the chapter. Let's revise. Children, occupation means the job one does to earn a living. People do different jobs depending on their educational qualifications and skill level. The term white-collar jobs and blue-collar jobs became popular in the mid-20th century. People who went to offices were termed as white-collar jobs, and people who did manual work or hard labor were termed as ones with a blue-collar job. No job is considered big or small, so we must respect all occupations and professions. This is known as dignity of labor. So students, this is all about the chapter. Now next is the glossary, which you have to read, learn and also have to write in your notebook. And last, here is let's practice questions for you, which is also to be done in notebook after the glossary. Question number 1 is fill in the blanks, and question number 2, list 2 to 4 examples of the following. First, jobs that require educational qualifications. Second, jobs that require skill level. Third, white collar jobs. And fourth, blue collar jobs. So students, you have to write 2 to 4 examples of each. I hope you have understood everything properly and you read the chapter also, and then you see whatever I have explained, you will be able to understand each and everything. After that, you do the let's practice questions in your notebook. So children, I hope you have enjoyed the session. Be happy, be cheerful, help your parents, be good to them, respect them, love them and stay in the house. And also encourage others to stay home, stay safe. So bye for now. Have a good time. Enjoy this time because this is the time for you to play also. Play. But along with that, study also. God bless you all. Thank you.